Okay, so now we're going to be filling in the unit circle. Okay. All right. Use the special triangles and the tables on the previous page to fill in the unit circle. Okay, we did all that work for a specific reason. We can take all of our angles, okay, in the 4 quadrants, and we can fill them all in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my page just a little bit smaller so I can fit everything in. So I think I got to go to View, Zoom, let's go 100, maybe a bit bigger. View, Zoom, 125, 150. Okay, that should be good. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to fill in all of my angles, okay? So I know over here I have 0 degrees. The next is 30 degrees. Over here I have 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. Over here, I'm going to have 120 degrees, 135 degrees, okay? I'm going to have 150 degrees right here, and this is going to be 180. Okay, so now I am adding 30 degrees to 180, so it's going to give me 210. And then I've got 225. Add 15 again, and I get 240. And here I'm going to have 270. Add 30, I get 300. Add 15, I get 315. Add 15 again, and I get 330. And here I'll have 360 degrees. Now remember that we've got a radius that has a unit of 1. So let's fill in the coordinates. So the coordinate over here is going to be 1 and 0. Actually, I think I'll do it in pink. So the coordinate is at 1, 0. Cosine. So what was the cosine of 30? Well, the cos of 30 was root 3 over 2. That's the x-coordinate of this point right there. What would the y-coordinate be? The sine. The sine is 1 over 2. 45 degrees, that's easy. That is just root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. For 60 degrees, it is going to be 1 over 2 and root 3 over 2. Did it get cut off? No. Okay. So these are the coordinates, but it also tells us the cosine and the sine. I'm just going to write that up here. So coordinate x, y is the same thing as cos theta, sine theta. Okay. Now, if you know the first quadrant, you can do the next ones. Now, I want to show you something really kind of cool here. There's a pattern here to help you remember the unit circle. Fill in your angles 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. 90 degrees, what's that coordinate going to be? Well, it's going to be 0 and 1. Okay, so over here, I am going to go and count 0, 1, 2, 3, 1. Back the other way. 0, 1, 2, 3, 1. You see that? To remember, 0, 1, okay, that's 1 over 2, 2, root 2 over 2, 3, root 3 over 2, and 1, and then back the other way. It can help you memorize the first quadrant, because ideally you will have memorized the unit circle, because unfortunately in 30-1 they don't give you the unit circle on the formula sheet. You need to know how to use it, okay? Now that's not saying that you have to use it. I have had students that have used the table. They have used this table right here, or they have used the special triangles. They draw their triangles out, okay? And that works fine as well. So from there, to fill in the unit circle further, all we're doing is reflecting points. So 120 degrees, well, that's a reflection of 60 degrees, right? So it's going to be negative 1 over 2 and root 3 over 2. Now, remember the cast rule? So C, A, S, T. Well, in quadrant 2, remember that sign was positive. So that's another way to remember it, okay? So now 135 degrees is a reflection of 45 degrees. If it's reflected, that means it's negative root 2 over 2 and positive root 2 over 2. 150 degrees is a reflection of 30 degrees. So it's negative root 3 over 2 and 1 over 2. Okay. So now let's fill in 180. It's a reflection of 0 degrees. So it's going to be negative 1 and 0. 210 is a reflection of 150. So the coordinate, remember that sine and cos are both negative in the third quadrant. So it's negative root 3 over 2, negative 1 over 2. Okay? The next one, 225 is a reflection of 135 degrees. So that is going to be negative root 2 over 2, negative root 2 over 2. 240 is a reflection of 120 degrees. So that is going to be negative 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. 270 is a reflection of 90 degrees. Its coordinate is going to be 0 and negative 1. 300 degrees, what's that one going to be? Well, the cosine is going to be positive because cosine is positive in quadrant 4. So it's going to be positive 1 over 2. Negative root 3 over 2. For 315, it's going to be positive root 2 over 2 and negative root 2 over 2. For 330 degrees, it is going to be positive root 3 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. And then 360 is going to be the same as 0 degrees, 1 and 0. So now let's take a look at an example. Use the unit circle to find the exact value of the trig ratios for a rotation angle of 240 degrees. Give each answer an exact value with a rational denominator. We're always rationalizing our denominators. So if we have sine 240 degrees, here's 240 degrees. Remember that our coordinates are written as cos and sine. So the sine of 240 degrees as an exact value is going to be negative root 3 over 2. Cosine of 240 is going to be negative 1 over 2. Tan 240, remember that tan is written as sine theta over cos theta. If that's the case, it's going to be negative root 3 over 2 divided by negative 1 over 2. Remember that tan is going to be positive in quadrant 3. So negative root 3 over 2, kiss and flip. Our negatives cancel out, and I'm just going to get simply root 3. Okay? Okay, point A is at negative root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2, and point B is negative 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. They are 2 points on the unit circle. If an object rotates counterclockwise from point A to point B, through what angle has it rotated? Okay, so let's go back to our unit circle. So we want to find point A, which is at negative root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. So that means that it is 135 degrees. So point A is at 135 degrees. Point B is at negative 1 over 2. So negative 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. So it's 240 degrees. So B is 240 degrees. I want to know what is the angle between the two of them. So all I'm going to do is 240 degrees, take away 135 degrees, which gives me an angle of 105 degrees. Okay, now we're going to put everything into practice, okay? But I think for now I'm going to pause and I'm going to let you review the unit circle.